Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm hanging in, a little jet lagged, but we're here.
We are, is it safe to say twilight or towards the end of Black History Month?
We need another one.
Listen,
some shenanigans.
One of my favorite social media commentator was like, this has been the most atrocious Black History Month because everybody's trying to play in our face.
Yeah. I mean, what did we expect, though, I guess? Given the state of the world, what did we expect?
Oh, my goodness. And we'll get into more of that. But man, oh, man. All right. So we have some headlines this week as well as a couple of hot topics. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Girl, this came out literally after we were done recording the following day. Eric Dane passed away, best known as Dr. Mark, quote, McSteamy Sloan on Grey's Anatomy at the age of 53 years old. People know him from, as I mentioned, Grey's Anatomy, The Last Ship, and Euphoria. And it broke my heart because their widows posted pictures of him and Vanderbeek, like they would like hang out with each other.
Yep.
And they died literally a week apart from different illness. Eric passed away. He lost his battle to ALS. But man, the first thing that came to mind when I heard this news was like, dang, that felt quick.
It was quick.
And I say that because unfortunately, I know the most famous case is
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's. Yeah, I'm thinking about the movie. But Stephen Hawking's. And I actually saw a doctor give an analysis on social media saying, like, what's the difference between the two? Because Stephen Hawking's dealt with ALS for decades. And for Eric,
diagnosed in college.
10 months, Ashley. And this doctor, again, internet, I'm assuming he's legit, but it just depends on how old you are when you're first diagnosed and where it's first manifests. So I guess when it comes to Stephen Hawkins, it showed up in his, in his limbs, so to speak, whereas Eric, it affected his speech and his swallowing and things along those lines. And so he was impacted, quickly. Heartbreaking. He leaves behind two beautiful daughters. He has a whole special on freaking Netflix.
Talk about a tearjerker. I only watched a portion of that final advice and talk that he gave to his daughters.
Yeah.
On Instagram recently. And yeah, I mean, we've seen Sandra Bullock's late partner, may he rest in peace. He battled ALS recently, but I think he battled it for maybe 4 or 5 years. Obviously, Stephen Hawking, as we talked about, I mean, there's been multiple cases at this point of ALS. We had the whole ice bucket challenge at one
I remember
point
that. Yeah.
because of it. So it definitely became more prominent, but still such a horrific disease. It takes your body, it doesn't take your mind. So you basically become trapped in it. And the devastation to the person as well as their loved ones. But what I respect so much about Eric was that he seemed to always, as he said in his video, keep his spirit and keep his fight even till the end.
Yes.
So I have no
Yes.
doubt that he was able to maintain that. And as swiftly as he went, he had a beautiful, seemingly life and career and was able to really make his mark. And his daughters, obviously, as well as his, you know, contributions to the arts will be remembered. So
Yes.
I'm just wishing
Billy
them
and
the
Georgia
best. Yeah.
are his daughter's names, and Rebecca Grayhart, who's also an actress. They were originally going to get divorced, and when his diagnoses came out, they decided not to do that. So,
Yeah. I also read that Johnny Depp like put him up in one of his homes. So he was living
mm,
in one of Johnny Depp's houses before he passed. So yeah.
yeah, I think about the last project I saw him in was the last Bad Boy movie. Um,
I mean, he'll
what is
still be
it?
in this next season of Euphoria. So he
Yes.
was able to finish and complete his scenes.
Yep.
So
So, rest in peace. Okay. Let's talk about the Olympics. Okay, I know you said Winter Olympics isn't really your jam, but there are a couple of things I want to talk about. The 2026 Olympics have come to an end. The United States ended up being in second place when it comes to medal count, because country pride or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
who
I
was
remember
first?
being young and, oh, yeah, I'll tell you that in a minute. I remember being young and every day we would like be like, what's the medal count? What's the medal count? And this was for both like the summer and winter Olympics. But Norway, number one,
Wow.
41 medals. United States, 33. The Netherlands, um, 20 in third place. Italy, the home country, came in fourth with 30 medals. And then Germany is the fifth with 26 medals. So, and then, yeah, Norway had the most gold as well with 18 medals. Um, yeah, so some highlights for me is, you know, we kind of talked about her, um, Allison winning gold. I didn't realize that she's the first American to claim gold since 2002.
Mm.
I knew it was a minute, but wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, that's in any sport or just
No, no,
in
in
ice
figure
skating?
skating.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And because we would used to dominate. I mean, Christine Yamaguchi, Michelle Kwan, Tara Lipinski, the girl who won back in 2002, her name is like Sarah something. And the reason why I never took the time to remember her name, I told you I was such a Michelle Kwan stan that I was like, who is this random girl who came in, did an extra flip, won gold, and then retired? I'm like, how dare she? You have your rivalries in your head, right? Um, but that brought me joy. And again, her figure skating was so phenomenal. Like the ease in which she um, was able to do her performance was quite impressive.
Hmm.
And then I want to talk about the hockey teams. Okay. So both the women's hockey team won gold as well as the men's hockey team. And of course, we can't have nice things and be happy and patriotic without, some BS happening. So in the celebratory moment, while the men's hockey team celebrating their win, both beating Canada, by the way, which is like the GOAT when it comes to hockey, right? I guess the current president of the United States was on the phone and he was like, I can't wait to bring you out to the White House, blah, blah, blah. And we'll have to bring the girls with us too. And like the gross, this is so gross. I was like, why is it so easy to disparage women like that? You know what I mean? Like, where's the pride? Both men and women hockey won. Like,
You're talking
actually,
about the wrong person. Like,
but there was nobody in that locker room to be like,
this is why neither Shane nor Ilya were from these United States.
Heated rivalry. Like, it's so funny that you say that because Rachel Reed, the author of the books, is a huge hockey fan, and she talks about how she loves hockey, but it's so misogynistic and like she feels like she can't really enjoy it that much because the guys are disappointing when it comes to caring about anybody other than themselves.
I also have a very irrational fear of that puck hitting me in the face.
So fast though, like
Yeah.
we're talking ice and speed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The dude, one of the heroes, until they effed it all up, lost his tooth in the process. I and I also love a good hockey romance in books, and the running joke is like they need a dentist on call, and I'm pretty sure that's facts. Yeah. I'm like, how many people have their original teeth? I'm curious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about the controversy because I was just like, why can't we have nice things? You know what I mean?
We can, but is it shocking? Is it surprising? Not really. Let's go,
Syracuse.
ladies.
That was the young woman who's now a grown ass woman who won out of nowhere back in 2002. And yeah, Tara Lipinski won in 1998. Again, coming seemingly out of nowhere, and then won that freaking medal and went straight home and retired. She's fun commentator though. I will give her that. So, but yeah, we watched the closing ceremonies, and it was on for like forever and ever. Amen. It was very Euro performance. Like some of the stuff I'm like, okay, this is very artistic and I have no idea what's going on here. But and then all of a sudden Major Lazer came out and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. So anyway, it was a good time. Congratulations to all the Olympians.
Well, congratulations to the ladies.
Yes,
specifically the ladies.
And a shout out to Flavor Flav. So they, of course, they were like, we're going to gracefully decline the invitation to the White House. And Flavor Flav was like, let's put on a party in Vegas. And literally, like, there's a number of like airlines and hotels that are like, we would love to host y'all and have a great time. We're gonna have a glam. And I'm like, I love that, like, community. How about that?
Indeed. Vegas, baby.
Speaking of heated rivalry, of course, I'm going to talk about Connor Storrie because, oh my God, it's Connor Storrie. He's hosting SNL, and I know you don't watch SNL, but I do sometimes, depending on who it is. Like, for example, like when Keke Palmer hosted, when Kerry Washington hosted. Like, honestly, it just depends on like who's hosting it, and if it's like a Black woman, I'm watching, okay, because they don't like, unfortunately. Tiffany Haddish was one of the first Black women hosts to ever do it. And that's less than like, what, 5 years ago or so? Or when was Girls Trip? But it honestly, for as long as SNL has been around, there's no reason why she was going to be like the first,
I catch
But
clips. I catch SNL clips. I don't see a
yeah,
point in
well,
watching long
I
form.
watch the skits, and then like some of my favorite is Pablo. Um, what is this man's name? We love him, Pascal.
Pedro?
Pedro Pascal. Thank you. I was like, I'm saying his name wrong.
Hmm.
Shout out to him and his boo, by the way. Like, have you seen those pictures?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. But this is pretty major for someone to literally have won his show and hosting SNL. And I'm really excited for him because, like, when it comes to him and Hudson, I am just they are so talented. I'm really excited to see what their next projects are. And to me, this is a great platform for him to show a different side of his talent in humor. And the teaser was already hilarious. Did you see any of the teaser
I
that
have
came
not.
out?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay, so it is a it's an accent duel, and it's like him against another castmate. And of course, he got the Russian in there and he got the French in there. And he did such a great job. And it was super cute and funny. So I cannot wait. He's hosting this week with Mumford and Sons as the um,
Musical
musical
guest.
guest. So it'll be a great time. Do you care? Are you gonna watch it? You'll probably watch clips, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure I'll catch the most important moments on these internets for sure.
one of one of the this young lady on social media says she's like, please do like a USA hockey skit with Connor and Hito Reverie or something like that. Like that would be so good. So yeah, when I watch clips, I typically like to look at like the opening monologue for people again that I'm interested in, and then any notable skits because sometimes not all the skits are funny, but like sometimes like the musical ones are really hilarious to me, the ones that are like pre-recorded or whatever, because I still think about SZA's skit where she was like, it's cuffing season, I want a big boy. Do you know that one?
Mm-mm. Who was she singing to?
Well, it was a joke about how people, it was fall, it's time to find somebody,
Ah,
you want a big boy
that was
to
off of
cuff it.
Harlem. That was off of Harlem, if you remember. That was a
What do you
thing
mean?
on the
Oh
show
yes, yes,
where
yep,
when it gets cold outside, it's time to find you somebody a little thick.
yep, yep. But her song is a big boy.
Mm.
I need a big boy, big boy. Yeah, hilarious. Okay. Let's see here. Sometimes I hate the internet, Ashley. And there was this influencer who actually made this post back in November, but for whatever reason, it gained traction this week and she is getting all types of backlash. Um, I am looking at people.com. This woman named Tara Woodcox, an influencer and fitness coach, took to Instagram after her hotel tip went viral. So basically, the advice she gave was that if you don't have clean underwear, take your dirty drawers, put them in the Keurig, turn on that Keurig because the quote steam will help clean it, and then dry them off with the hand dryer.
Yeah.
Ashley, I personally overpack underwear like my life depends on it.
You pack at
I
least
have
double.
never, people say never, but in my life so far, I have never ran out of underwear. Okay. Like,
Especially in today's world, because what you have at your disposal between laundromat, usually where you're staying on site launder, You can go to the store and buy a pack of draws. And I mean Walmart, even. Like, let's be for
And
real.
then you could just simply hand wash your
You can
underwear.
simply hand wash as well. This was the whole thing when this first came out, was like, of all the things, why would you look at a coffee maker, an appliance, and say, let's test the waters to see if how well it cleans my drawers?
I feel so violated. And according to her, this is what a quote unquote friend who is a flight attendant told her. And I saw her video post you know, this uproar, and it's giving fake laugh. And she was like, oh, I've never done it. My friend told me about it. I'm like, girl, you can keep it. It's giving the lack of accountability the same way the hockey men didn't want to take any accountability for laughing at their fellow country women for winning the same award. Anyway, they've done it more often. That's another thing. The women have consistently won gold. This is the first time the men won gold in also a very long time. I don't have that stat with me right now. But anyway, she's being sued.
By whom? By whom?
She's being sued by the hotel. Now, I have not been able to identify the hotel, but somebody recognized that she was at the same place. And people started complaining about, their coffee makers, and so that hotel had to replace them. And then they're saying that the hotel is suing her for $1 million.
Hmm.
So we'll see if anything comes out of this. But I mean, the bathing wars on social media has been very interesting.
I am not a coffee drinker. So thankfully, this did not turn my stomach in the way that it might have for people who drink hotel coffee. The thing is if there's a coffee maker and it has a hot water thing on it, I have used those for my tea. So just the idea and the fact that there are so many things outside of your control, guys, I've really tried to make peace with it, but I feel like this is just like a blinding reminder of how nasty people are out here. Be
People
safe.
are gross.
Be safe.
So gross. And I don't mess with coffee makers in my hotel room. And I'm really big on like spraying down the remote, the lamp, switches, uh any doorknob, the toilet, the surf. Like it's a whole thing. Like, let me wipe down all these exposed surfaces, look through all the sheets. I mean, I go as far as bringing my own pillowcase if I have to.
Silk
Just
pillowcase is nice.
What'd you say?
A silk pillowcase for the hair is nice as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, be safe, y'all. Be safe. And people get upset at, did you see that one influencer who like literally cleans her entire bath, or the entire hotel room, but she literally cleans the shower in
I
her
might
hotel
have.
room.
I might
She
have.
had
That's
like
a
these
lot.
it was a lot, but she had like these disposable like wands, and she would just wipe down everything, the floor and everything. I was like, whew, cha.
I mean, the
That
thing is I think it's great, right? I think it's great to do your due diligence, but also you can't do that everywhere. Germs are gonna catch you. Things are gonna catch you. So balance, you know what I mean? Because like you have to go on a
yes.
plane, and you know what I mean? Like this is a lot of opportunity for people's germs to get on you. So just do your due diligence. Don't drink out of hotel coffee makers anymore. Check your food, and it's a lot of things, but it's only so
Yeah.
much we can do in this world. They gonna get us. Everybody's gonna get us. We're together in this life. Public transportation alone.
I know.
My
I
plane
know.
yesterday, me and the guy in front of me so disturbed because some people they get up and they want to stand up, and planes just feel more and more cramped. So he was like leaning over both of us and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to scream if you don't get your gut out of my face. So there's only so much we can do, guys. Stay blessed.
All right, let's get into our hot topics. So I want to talk about Katseye and the fact that Manon is on this quote unquote hiatus. Um, their record label, they're called, let me see, Hybe and Giffen, also known as HXG, something like that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not really that familiar with how it's pronounced because I didn't watch the show. There is a show on Netflix on how this group was developed. And even from the beginning, I remember when they hit the scene, and I was so excited to see a Black girl in a K-pop group. Their very first music video, Ashley, they hit Manon in the back. Like the choreography, all the girls were in front of her. It was so bad, Ashley. I was like, what is happening here? And then obviously they started getting traction, and obviously they were able to she obviously made her way to the front. But one of their biggest hits, Gabriella, she's not in that music video. There's a lot of conversation about her needing rest and a break, and people calling her lazy. And
Y'all got some nerve.
And she's just like, you can't be out here calling Black people lazy like that. Like that, it gets a kind of, negative connotation. And then, of course, again, a lot of racist comments on her and her abilities. And I don't know what's going on with her record label, but she co-signed and said, yeah, I'm taking a break on my mental health. I'm fine, but take care of yourselves, and I'll be back. But there was this social media post by she goes by Simply Simone on Instagram. And I thought she did a really great job, really reminding us that, like, what is it about these girl bands when they have the one Black girl and just the girl is right through the coals, not respected. But it doesn't seem like the band members take the time to support, the Black girls when they're going through it. I'm thinking about Normani. I'm thinking about she brought up Little Mix and Leah. Somebody also went as far back to talk about Melanie from Pussycat Dolls and how, do you remember that performance? They were performing live, and at this point, it was Nicole's world and we were all living in it. But Melanie decided, you know what? I'm going to sing this high note today.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she hit that note, and Nicole was like, I can't believe she took my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't believe she took my spot. Oh, that would go down in like pop culture history.
And good for her. You're not gonna relegate me to the back for my entire career. When I saw that she was doing the Whitney, I think it was the Bodyguard on off Broadway or what have you, and she was playing Rachel, I was like, you got vocals like this from the Pussycat Dolls and you were not on many solo tracks? That's crazy. That's crazy. So good for her.
Yeah. Have you seen any of this discourse? I mean, they obviously got a lot of attention this past year for the Gaps commercial, the milkshake choreography. They did such a fantastic job. And to me, it was such a perfect response to the American Eagle Jean campaign starring Sydney Sweeney. And then, of course, we just talked about them at this year's Grammys and how they were nominated for Best New Artist.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen it, and we talked about the ad at the time, and I mean, I don't follow a lot of these single black female girl groups the way I do, my OGs, the Destiny's Childs, the TLCs of the world. So I haven't paid as much attention to some of the shenanigans that have happened with some of them, but for sure, I relate to the idea of, not having black women protected the way that they should be and the fallout from that. And I hope that this young lady is able to get the peace she needs. I mean, it kind of falls in line or ties in a bit to me with what's happening with Queer Eye, right? And the fact that Karamo, being the only cast member there, is
Yo,
feeling some
yes.
type of way. So,
Yeah.
I just think there's something to be said for having to deal with things in society still as Black people, and the way that we're treated and perceived, unfortunately, still has a lot of progress that needs to be made. So maybe this young lady will stay, maybe she'll depart. We'll see, but I hope she does what she needs to do at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, speaking of society and
The way Blacks are treated.
girl, girl, let's go ahead and talk about these BAFTAs. So this weekend, one of the biggest awards handed out, so much so that royalty shows up. We're talking about the BAFTAs. Um, things were positive initially, actually. I remember, getting the news, getting rolled in, finding out that Woomy won for
Yes,
Sinners,
I
Best
got to
Supporting
see it.
Actress. Oh,
I actually caught
so
it. I caught
did
her and
you?
I
I
caught Ryan with Best Original Screenplay. I caught those
Best
in my
Original
hotel.
Screenplay. Oh, Ashley, I was so excited. Oh, and I feel like that's my prediction for the Oscars. Oh, we'll
Yeah.
probably have to do our predictions, but yeah, he's definitely going to get a Best Original Screenplay. But I can hope for director and Best Picture and Best Actor. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The other thing that I think is worth mentioning that didn't really register until more recently is both One Battle After Another and Sinners are both Warner Brothers films.
Hmm.
And so when it comes to campaigning, supposedly they're very big on having equal amount of budgets and push for these films, and not one being favored over another one because again it's under the same roof essentially, which will eventually be Netflix, which is crazy to me.
Well, I did see today some headlines about allegedly the Paramount deal was looking more enticing at the moment. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I didn't see that. I hope that's not true. I hope it don't.
It was on some
What
of the
does it
Twitter
matter?
threads. I
It
mean, it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
it doesn't in the grand scheme of money exchanging hands, but it
Yeah.
could make a difference in terms of quality and film integrity and some of those things that we'll have to between either of them have we would have to see how it's going to shake out, because I know that Netflix was now saying, "Oh, yes, we'll still keep theatrical releases and that's not going anywhere," but people say certain things and then things can change rapidly. So, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. So at the BAFTAs, Michael Bay Jordan and Lindo doing their jobs, looking handsome, presenting an award, and John Davison, who suffers from Tourette syndrome, dropped the N word. Um, and apparently multiple times. So this is the issue to me. Obviously, we understand that John Davison is dealing with this condition and doesn't have any control. But at the same time, why did the BAFTAs leave that in a pre-recorded television version? Like, they could have easily edited that out. And this is one of the big conversation on social media, because they definitely edited out some other speeches, that were had at that evening. But for whatever reason, this slur that everyone knows is a freaking slur was kept in. And I think the other part that also was so frustrating is, like, why is it that it feels like you have to pull teeth to get an apology to Michael B. Jordan and Delroy and to Black people in the diaspora, because that is an offensive term.
Yep.
I feel like nobody is, trying to be quote unquote ableist and saying, like, I can't believe he didn't control himself or whatever. That's sure, we understand he has a condition, but what he still said at the end of the day was offensive, and it still required an apology, because Black people being offended matters. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, you said it all. I mean, the fact that I didn't really hear too much even from whoever runs the BAFTAs, nothing has come quick enough or solidly enough for me to kind of forgive this. And I was never a BAFTAs real big fan anyway, the way that I watch or have, paid attention to some of the other things. So that just goes ahead and edges them continually down on the list of what I care about in terms of my entertainment consumption, because that's all we can control is, am I going to pay attention to you and value you if you don't value me? I don't think so.
What's interesting is there were two British ladies that I follow on social media, and they had interesting things to say. So the first one is, BBC has not been above reproach in the past, especially when it comes to the N word. I guess somebody's used it in a report, and then asked this young lady to come on to debate why the word is offensive. She's like, I'm not going to get on TV to tell you this word that we all know is a slur is offensive. Like, I'm not going to do that. But some of the consensus was that they kept it in because obviously it's controversial, and it got people not talking about how Prince Andrew recently got arrested for his connection to Epstein. And I'm like, oh, this again. But honestly, if freaking Harry and Meghan were still over there, they would have been the scapegoats for covering up bad behavior from the senior royals also. So that was an interesting theory. And then and there was another young lady who was like, there's not enough Black people over here to like call out the thing. And she was like, she loves that this is like African Americans are like on their necks. And she was like, y'all don't play it. I love that. And she was like, over here we're keep calm, carry on, we don't have the numbers or the she's like the gumption to call a thing a thing. And she was like, African Americans are like, not today, and that's not good enough, try again, because again, the number of times that they had to make a statement to where they said Warner Brothers had to intervene and say, I need for you to say something, like, officially.
It's ridiculous.
It's so disheartening, Ashley. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Why? It's like,
Y'all wouldn't have
Our
to worry
comfort
about
is
me
never
next year.
prioritized. Our comfort is never prioritized.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't have to worry about me next year. I just for damn sure. So,
All right. I was gonna go through the list, but uh best film, one battle after another. I will say this is closer to Oscar sometimes. But I will say with BAFTAs, they do lean more favorably towards their own, so British
of course.
actors. So with Woomy winning, I thought that was interesting because at this point,
Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor has been, a bit of a front runner. So we still have the actor or SAG Actors Awards coming up, and we will see. We will see.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have for today, Ashley. What are we recapping next week?
Yeah, so we are going to kick off our first Women's History Month recap with a hidden gem of mine from, what was it, last week? It is a
Yes.
rom-com starring the Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller. It is available currently to stream on Apple TV Plus. It is Eternity. I mentioned during my snippet on Hidden Gems that this is one I had a strong point of view on. So I'm looking forward to chatting that through in this love triangle in the afterlife. So if you guys have not seen it, it's a very interesting, unique premise. It is entertaining for sure. And we're gonna start the month with a little love, which I think we could all use more of in this world. So thank you so much for
Absolutely.
sticking with us for this episode. We appreciate it. Please share it with everybody you know. Again, tickets are on sale for the Oscar party coming up March 15th. Please check out the link in bio on our Instagram. It is also available via Eventbrite. That's it. That's all, guys. We'll see you next time. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.